All
I
right, all
guess
right.
you are from Texas. Okay, I think we're working. I think we're streaming. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to Talk About TV. I am your host, Michelle Oliver, and every single Wednesday we come to you live to share what you don't know about experiential outdoor hospitality. We try to share something that will really benefit you, regardless of what type of property you have, if it's a campground or an RV resort or dispersed hotel, anything, any combination of those. And I am absolutely delighted today because I am here with Blake Burris from Newbook, and our topic is what you don't know about Newbook. And there's a lot that I didn't know, and I'm sure there's a lot more that I don't know. So welcome, Blake. I'm so excited to hear from you today and to learn even more about Newbook.
Excellent. Thanks so much for having me, Michelle. I really appreciate you offering to have me on today's show and this live stream. Really excited for the conversation.
Yeah, me too. So, if you could just start out by introducing yourself and tell us a little bit about your role at Newbook, and I know it's a pretty expansive one, and maybe just a short introduction to what is Newbook for those who maybe don't even know anything about it.
Yeah, perfect. I'd love to. So I'm Blake Burris. I'm based in Austin, Texas, and I've worked with Newbook for the past 4 years. Now, prior to Newbook, I was with a competing software company where I learned so much. We're still friends, but I do have the about the 5 year mark
That's
in the
good.
industry. Yep. And my role is being a market consultant, right? So as a market consultant for Newbook, my primary responsibility is to gain a deep understanding of the outdoor hospitality business operations. So that allows me to provide tailored recommendations on the right product fit and integrations that will help operations not only achieve but exceed the business goals. So beyond
Yeah.
just understanding an individual business, right? I also work with top performing operators and multi-property groups in the market. So it
Mm.
allows me to have a unique perspective and allows me to share valuable industry insights, best practices, and emerging trends with our clients. So my goal is to become an extension of your business, right? We're the tech
Yeah.
hub for your business. We want to provide strategic guidance that aligns with both your operational needs and market opportunities.
Okay, that's excellent. So as you're speaking, I'm thinking about this is how we work with people, right? It's always like, what is your vision? What is the end objective? And then we work backwards. And I think you kind of do the same thing. So, what you're saying is your capabilities enable us to basically increase our revenue, right? I mean, that's kind of the bottom line. We want more bookings and then we want all this ancillary revenue. So, I know that there are unique ways that you can help with both. When we were talking the other day, actually, about the guest journey and the experience of the guest, which is that's the point, right? We're here to
Yep.
serve the guest. So when we create what we call ancillary revenue, it really is just additional experiences for the guest. So it might be, we have e-bikes or we have food or we have different experiences in the locale, like they can go rafting or whatever the thing is, adventures and experiences. How can you facilitate those purchases, or can you? I think you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, definitely. And and to be
I
honest,
hope you can.
yes, 100%. And to be fair, a lot of the other software providers that are in the outdoor space are going to help
Yeah,
you achieve those revenue goals when it's tying to ancillary income, right? So
yeah.
a lot of the software reservation systems is what a simpler term from. We can all offer a golf cart rental, maybe a sort of experience during the booking phase for the guest. So when
Hmm.
a guest goes on, presses book now, selects the
Yeah.
accommodation type, and then wants to add maybe an activity or a rental of some sort, that's definitely achievable, not only in Newbook, but it's pretty much standard now across the industry.
Okay. Awesome.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
what's so special about you then? What can
Yeah.
what can you do that some of those others can't do?
Yes, exactly. And I'm glad you asked, right? So the mission behind Newbook is to be the number one tech brand in the outdoor hospitality space, right? And the vision is to help our industry operators run better businesses. And the way that we achieve that is, again, is being an extension of your team. So being the technology arm of the businesses that we work with. So if someone's selling you a piece of software and then they never speak to you again, well, you never find value in that piece of software. You have to figure out everything yourself. You have to learn everything
Oh,
yourself.
yes.
You have to educate your team yourself. And the point of
Yeah.
separation, yeah, and the gap that Newbook's identified is how about we work with our partners to continue to teach them how to use the software of Newbook? Because let's be fair, it's pretty sophisticated, and there needs to be
Yeah.
continued learning inside the system, so people can offer those ancillary items on the fly on their booking engine without having to call the Newbook team or the software provider that they work with.
That's huge.
Yep,
Um,
it is.
I'm sure every single person out there can cite a time when they went through this. You know, I've done it so many, many times. You buy the hot new software, and then you're stuck, and there's no one to really guide you through it. And you watch all the videos, and then you're trying to use that to teach your team. And it becomes an obstacle rather than facilitating, the action that you really are needing. So can you share more about that? Like, what is the back end of that like? What does that look like for me as an operator? If I have an RV resort and I just come to you and I say, I've got 200, sites. We have all these things we want to integrate. How do you help us? We've got a team. We've got check-in people. We've got all these different concierge and maintenance people. How do we tie all of this together?
Yeah, so the best case scenario for an operator, you have to be very transparent into the insides of your business, right? You have to
Mhm.
allow who you're speaking to a little visibility into the business. So you're going to want to share
Okay.
actual statistics of what's happening at the campground, right? So your average daily rate, what does your occupancy level look like? What does your length of stay look like? What does your tech stack look like, right? Do you do electric metering? Do you have a point of sale system? What do all the other applications look like at the campground that you use? Do you have a revenue management department? Do you have a marketing department? Do you have an accounting department? So these are all things that a market consultant does daily. We ask these questions, and our job is to be your tour guide and to connect all of the dots and to recommend the best fit based on the build of your business. So I'd say the most important piece for an operator is to really give visibility to the reservation system you're working with so they can guide you in the most competent way.
Okay, tell me more about that. So let's
Yep.
say, here's what I'm seeing too is a lot of people will get in, and this is happening often now, or people come from a different space. If they come from hotel or something, they have some insight into this. But a lot of people from various backgrounds are jumping into this. They might buy a campground or an RV resort or something. They have no idea what they're getting into.
Yep.
So how much can you actually help? I understand that you need transparency. You need to see inside the business so that you can facilitate that. But what would that look like if I knew nothing about it? So we
Gotcha.
just sit down. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So our job is to establish the web in the industry, right? Is to understand how to navigate the ecosystem. So what that comes with is experience with working with other top operators and what they do, what workflows they prefer. It has to do with connecting with other vendor partners in the space. So not only making relationships with operators that run businesses, but playing nice with the other folks that offer services in the space, right? So if
Yeah.
someone's coming from one industry to the campground industry and they want to know, hey, does Newbook have an app? Well, Newbook doesn't have an app, but our philosophy is, hey, let's connect to maybe an app provider. So what I can do is I can dig into my Rolodex and I can contact my application provider And I can send that intro email and I can connect you with that application and kind of lead you towards gold where you want to go, depending on your business aspirations.
So it sounds like you really are taking a consultative approach. You're giving a general consult because some of these people, what I've noticed is they come in, they have a big vision, but they don't know what to look for. And then they actually wind up doing the bare minimum with booking. And for them to actually learn all of the options is an impossibility without somebody really sitting down and guiding them through what is essential and then how to expand because you have basically different levels of what you can provide, right? Or
Yeah,
am I
yeah,
correct in that? Or you kind
you're
of grow into it?
exactly. And I think on the reservation side of things, a lot of us tend to just send information and give additional information without providing context, right? So what we strive
Yes.
to be is more of a sense maker, right? We don't want to overwhelm you with too much information. We want to start you in baby steps and have you running by the end of the track. So, I mean, I'm going to push it back to you based on your experience in how
Yeah.
we've chatted together over the past year or so. What has been your take on how our conversations flow? Have you found guidance through our conversations? Were you able to connect with different applications or understand the landscape better after our
Yeah.
conversations?
I mean, well, the first conversation that I had with Blake Burris, I think this was when I was looking at a boutique hotel and I reached out to you. And I
Hmm.
was thinking, okay, I know about the experience. I know how to do the branding, the marketing, all of this. But I wonder if Newbook, which is typically, you're functioning in outdoor hospitality. I wonder if you could help me facilitate this. And you were able, I mean, that deal didn't go through, so we didn't get to work together on that.
Yep.
But everything I asked about that, I was amazed at what you could do. And I'm curious, that'll be my next question. If you work with any boutique hotels, because you certainly could have solved our problems. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think no matter where you come from, um, like if you are new or if you're going to that next level of we're adding all of this ancillary revenue and maybe we're going to start buying more parks, it's much easier then because then you're just duplicating. But yeah, I think most things for me come down to how well does the person I'm working with communicate? How willing are they to understand what my vision is and help me achieve that? So you have the systems, you have the capabilities. It's just a matter of then translating that into like how do we how do we actually execute on this? And I think that's something that you've made it clear, very clear that you guys are really, really good at.
Thank you for that. And honestly, it's not me either, right? I work with Newbook, and to give you a little bit of backstory behind Newbook, Newbook was started by an RV park operator that had three RV
Okay.
parks, right? So this operator said, "Hey, I'm in Australia. I can make a better software than the other competitors out there," and Newbook was born. Now, if anyone hasn't heard yet, Newbook was actually purchased by a company called Storable last year in 2024. And why this is important is because Storable, they rule the roost in storage software and RV, excuse me, in marina software as well. So they work in two other verticals that are pretty similar to Newbook. They process a heck of a lot of money and they have a great infrastructure behind the business. So a lot of the things that just like your startup tech brand doesn't have, Newbook already has in place because of our Storable relationship. So it's not just me, it's the whole team. We have great leadership. We've been embracing change, we've been innovating, and we're definitely challenging the status quo right now.
You are
Yeah.
challenging the status quo. How many people are using your, or how many businesses, how many locations, let's put it that way. Do you have an
Gotcha.
idea?
I do. So globally, we have over 55,000 users.
Wow.
Yeah. So we are a global brand, right? And that's only on the new book side. And then in North America, we have over 600 campground, RV, glamping operators in the outdoor space.
That's a lot.
Yep, it is a lot. It's a lot and growing. And again, that that is our mission. So we're dedicated to being the number one tech brand in the outdoor hospitality space. I think when you break down the numbers and you look at the 600 parks in North America, that's only
Mhm.
about 5 to 10% of market share. So we have a long way to go.
Yeah, still
Hmm.
a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot.
So what about the question of boutique hotels? How do you feel about that? That's not obviously a market that you're pushing after, right?
It's
You're mostly, or I don't know. So that's the question.
Yeah, and so it's not something that we actively go after. Although we've found success in working with boutique hotels and glamping experiences. And the reason being is a lot of these hotel softwares, it's hard for them to move back into the outdoor hospitality space, right? There's a lot of
Yeah,
nuances that they're missing inside of the software, right? Like I would say like slide outs, rig length and width, optimizing charts on the back end, those types
yeah,
of little configurations. So with the campground software for RV parks and campgrounds, it's a lot easier for us to move into those boutique hotels and into the glamping space because we already have it built. It's already ready to roll,
right.
right? So
Yeah,
we have packages, we have activities, we have river float access, we have experiences that you can book inside of the software. Now, I think one
hmm
thing you really liked inside of Newbook was not only the ability to book your accommodation, but the ability to book like a time slot for a river float, right?
right.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for because we're wanting to increase the revenue and increase the get, improve the guest experience, enhance it. Yeah. So go on. This is the part I
Yeah.
love.
This is the part that
Yeah.
this is why you invited me onto the show, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yes,
Experiences.
yeah, experiences, right? Activities, appointments. So there's different modules that are actually built into the new book platform to where you can book a spa appointment, right? And it sits on a different chart than your bookings chart. If you want to book an activity for 2 hours and take a tour around a wildlife zoo, you can do that inside a new book. The beauty of it also is not only is that only able to be booked on the back end. So someone's calling, you have to type it in yourself, you have to search for it yourself. It's becoming a manual process. With Newbook, you can actually cut out those experiences and have people book individual experiences on your website. So if you want to have a separate retreat button,
Wow.
yeah, in
Oh, that's
comparison.
awesome. I didn't know you could do that.
So pretty simple. I'd say we're the Swiss Army knife.
You are okay. New book
Yep.
is the Swiss Army knife for
Yeah.
experiential outdoor hospitality. You heard it here.
Yep. You heard it here first.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, the customer service is excellent because that's a big part of your success, right? Is really in educating the staff, the team, so that everybody knows what they're doing. So
Yes, 100%.
communication is absolutely essential. And they'll just take you through the different phases of where you need to go. And that is why we are very happy to be promoting you guys.
I
So,
appreciate that. I do appreciate that.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of software companies in general across all industries, it's a hey, I sell you a piece of software and I never speak to you again,
yes,
right?
I
So
know.
when you're going through
Terrible.
it is terrible, and then
My
you don't
version
even
of
know which number
hell.
to call.
Yeah,
Is
I
it?
know.
Yeah. We,
Yeah, because then you're like, I mean, I can't tell you how many things I still pay for that I don't even
yeah.
know. And then you go back and you look, oh my gosh, I'm still paying for all this stuff. And I just gave up. I just gave up.
You just give up. So
Yeah.
the buck doesn't stop at me, right? If you decide to move forward with New Book, then I introduce you to a broader New Book team, right? And they're your
Yeah.
dedicated success partner. So these members support you through the partnership. The focus is on accountability, long-term collaboration, and then maintaining the trust that you put into us. So nothing's perfect, right? Things will come up. You need to know that you have a partner intact that you can work with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What else would you like to share?
I mean, you were talking about pickleball earlier too.
Yeah.
Um,
So every time I call Blake, he's on the road to a tournament. I was kidding about pickleball, but everybody loves pickleball
we'll do a segue.
except the ones who don't. So
Yes, you're
I
right.
met someone the other day,
Hmm.
and as I was getting out of the car, he made this derogatory comment about pickleball. And it was almost as if being such a great tennis player, he somehow thought of himself as superior to me, just out there throwing it around on the court, as he said. You guys are just throwing around those wiffle balls.
Yeah, they just don't know the feeling, I guess. They haven't
But
they
they
haven't
haven't
committed.
crossed over yet.
No,
They
they
haven't
haven't.
they haven't been out. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
when did you start playing? You're
I'm
you're
a
very serious about it though. I'm not serious. I just do it for fun.
I'm not that serious. And another pickleball story related to work. I was actually at a sales kickoff, right? So we do a boot camp a couple times a year with Newbook, and I packed my paddle. Was getting ready for boot camp. I put on my eye paint, said bye to my wife. I kissed my dogs goodbye. I went to the boot camp in Las Vegas. Well, one of the nights we decided to have a pickleball date at Chicken and Pickle in Las Vegas. So the whole team went out there, and I thought I was going to whoop butt against everyone on the pickleball court. I'll tell you what, you don't want to mess with the New Book team when it comes to pickleball because I was down the list when it comes
Oh,
to
really?
pickleball players. Yeah, I was so surprised. Yeah, yeah, and to all the
It's
pickleballers
so
out there, right? All the pickleballers know, like, hey, I feel like I'm feeling good. I feel like I could whoop butt. I'm ready to go. When you step on the court with that's better than you, it kind of throws you off,
there's
right?
so many levels to it, and it's
Yep.
so surprising. And I think one of the things I love most about it is generally how kind everyone is and how they really are there for the fun, and there's such a great social element to it. And
Yep.
so I've played often with people who are much better than me, but they just tone it down and enjoy the game anyway, and that allows me to get better because they're not intimidating me and like making me just want to, like I do with the software, just give up and walk away. There's just such an inclusivity, and
Hmm.
the kind of the joy of pickleball overrides. Well, I don't know. There's some Nazis out there for sure, but
On the pickleball court, right? Well,
yeah,
well, we
yeah,
don't like that. Let's get them.
yeah. Let's get
Yeah,
them.
let's get them. Join forces. We'll take them out. So I'm ready
Kill
to
them with
roll.
kindness. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. That's
And
fun. You're
wiffle
so
balls.
fun.
And wiffle balls. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fun. Okay, well, are you going to be at an expo or a convention or conference or whatever you want to call them soon?
Yeah, so it is, we're in the midst of conference season, and I will be at a couple conferences coming up. Now, the New Book team attends all the local conferences
Yeah.
across the board. So if I'm not there, New Book member will be at the conference. The next conference I'm going to that I'm super excited for is actually on the West Coast, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
it's an 11 state conference for the Western states. They don't
Hmm.
always get the love and attention that they need and like. So Diana Kelly, who's in charge
That's
of this
right.
conference. Yeah, are you
When is
familiar with
that?
her?
Yeah, of course I know her,
Yeah.
and yeah, I want you to finish talking about it. When is that?
Um, I'll double check.
April?
April. It's beginning of
It's
April,
April.
and it
Yes, I definitely need to go to
mhm.
that. I will
You
be at
definitely
that.
need to go there. I think it
I will be
starts
at that.
starts April 1st, and it's in Reno, Nevada.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we'll for sure. Evolve team will be there for sure. One of our
mhm.
Charlie right now is out at the building show in Vegas.
Oh, really?
IBS, which I think is a
Okay.
terrible acronym for it, but
You're
but
giving me a
he
stomach
said
ache.
it's absolutely enormous, and when I he's like, there's so many different kinds of screws available, and I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it's just everything building. So yeah.
Interesting. That might be a fun one to go to. Yeah. So that's going to be an exciting conference for the 11 Western states, hosted by Diana Kelly. And that's I'm double checking now. It looks like April 1st through the 4th.
This is new, right?
It is new, yeah. So it sprung up from the California Outdoor Conference. Um, and I think a lot of folks in California, as you know, it's such a huge state. It's hard to have a conference in Northern California and to entice the people from Southern California to drive up. And then there's a lot of absence of um, local conferences in the Western states in general. So
Mhm.
Diana had a brilliant idea of just bringing in everyone from the Western states, right? So the Pacific
Yeah,
Northwest to our beautiful states that you're in, Colorado and Utah, um,
yeah,
down west to California, and bringing us all into one space to collaborate. So
it's
I'm super
awesome.
excited about that one.
That
Yep,
should be a fantastic conference. I will really look forward to that. Yeah, and it's coming up very quickly here. So, well, I will
it
see
is.
you there.
Can't wait.
And unless there's anything else you'd like to share, do you have a a burning desire for one more comment or?
My burning desire for one more comment is I just want to hear about your business needs. I love when I speak to operators. So does the Newbook team. If you'd ever like to connect with one of the market consultants at Newbook, we want to listen to you and hear what your needs are, your priority lists, and your business goals moving forward. You said revenue at a
Yeah,
top, to start um, this meeting, to this live stream, but there's many
yeah,
more factors that go into place, right? For for an operator is the reservation platform going to save you time? It's going to
yeah.
streamline your efficiencies? Is it going to make you money? Are you going to be able to get a hold of them? All those sorts of things. So, would love to speak to anyone who wants to, take a peek under the hood at Newbook. Would love to talk about it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And
Thank
thank you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Yeah.
Yes, it's always lovely speaking with you. I just appreciate your team so much and everything that you bring to this. I think one of the things that everybody loves about outdoor hospitality are really the people, the businesses, the vendors. It's like nobody really, I never feel like anyone's really competing. They all come together and you are always speaking so highly of everyone else. And I think we all just want the best for our clients, and
100%.
clearly you do. So just another high integrity, highly motivated
Why, thank you.
person and company that can really, and you've got to have a great booking system. I mean, you just can't exist without that. So I
Indeed.
encourage everyone to reach out to Blake or anyone on his team, really, and we'll put some contact information in the comments and come out to California. What is that conference called? Is it called the, I forget, because Randy was part of
Good idea.
going at some point, I think, too. But anyway, the new one, Diana Kelly's conference. We'll call it
Y-
that.
yeah, it's I just
Western
Campground Solutions Summit West. There we go.
Campground Solutions Summit West.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put some contact information. Actually, I should get Diana on to talk about that
You
straight
should.
away.
You
Yeah,
should.
I will reach
But
out to her and we'll have her
mhm.
on.
The big ones are coming, right? So we got Western states. I know we just wrapped up. We got Western states, we got Texas, and then we also have Florida coming up. So
Yeah,
um, those are the couple big ones. There's also one in Wisconsin we're excited for. All of them are great. We just love participating.
yeah.
Again, we want to be an education piece and your partner in tech. So Grand Sierra Resort and Casino, Reno, Nevada, April 1st through 3rd, 2025. Very
Perfect.
excited. Yeah,
Awesome. Well, thank you, Blake, and
no problem.
everyone
Thank
who's
you.
listening. Thank you so much. I hope you make it a beautiful, wonderful Wednesday. Go out there and just inspire somebody else, and you'll be inspired too. Have a great day.